All right, Anthony, this is for you, mate. You asked for this. Bumper to bonnet or hood adjustments. I've not found anything, so was something I learnt on my own from trial and error, mate. So to adjust this front bar to the bonnet relation, there's a lot of 10mm bolts. Now, this is based on this hood arch to the door arch is perfect and there's no adjustment required. If you've got a problem with that, that's a completely different adjustment altogether, and I wouldn't even touch your front bumper. If you've got problems here, forget about it, because it affects this as well. What I found with factory adjustments, this gap is about 5 to 6mm from a literature GM has. And I'll show you what I did. Down here, there's 5. This is a 92 Corvette, and they're all similar. My previous was a 91 and it was the same. So you got 3 here and 2 down there. These need to be loosened up. You can see the adjustment I had to do. It's all nice and clean from the previous. Once this is loose, come in here. You need to loosen this support bracket. That nut and that bolt, again, it's 10mm. Just loosen it, don't take it off. This allows for a bit of lateral and mainly forward and up and down motion. Now, there's a brace here, a retainer they call. This holds the bumper, and there's 7mm screws holding it. I didn't have to loosen any of these, thank God. But you can, all right? Now, to get the gap here correctly, what you do is, after you've loosened all this and these, you've got to come under here as well. See this bar here? This is attached to a bolt and a nut. It's 13mm. You just need to loosen that, and that sort of relieves itself from the frame and allows the bumper bar to move up a bit if you need it. But you definitely need to loosen that skid plate, because you won't be able to move the bumper. And the other thing I did was, I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's 7mm screws in here, and they actually hold the bumper to a retainer. I loosened 3 of these just to relax the plastic a bit, and then that's about it really. I mentioned I used shimming for the shoulder in the corners here, inside. I used Gorilla tape or cloth tape. A lot of people can use, and I've seen it used, hardened Sikaflex. But what happens is, I believe you need to take this off, this retainer, metal, and start packing it, and then reinstall it and shave it down as you need it. And what happens, it pulls this shoulder out a bit. Other than that, there's a couple more adjustments I made. See this? That's a 13mm nut there. And then there's another one right below it. Access is a bit of a challenge, but it is doable with quarter drives. That allows the bumper bar to move up and down. And you can see in here, there are shims. That helps you with the relation of the gap to the hood on the bumper bar. Mine was perfect, but on the right side, I pulled some of those shims out. And I also loosened these off. There's shims under here, which allows the bonnet to come down a bit on the left side. I needed to do this, and I took a shim out of here. So that were the extra steps I did. And like I said from the start, my bonnet arch to the door is perfect. So I had no issue, all right? So if you have a problem with this gap here, don't even bother doing what I just showed with the bumper bar. Hope that helps. You've seen my result. They come up pretty good. I would say my example took around nearly 3 hours to muck around with it, but I got it perfect as I want it. So I hope this helps, okay?